Rational Team Concert Enterprise Extensions presents CLM Configuration Utility for z/OS, Introduction and Initialization, Part 1 of 4.
The CLM configuration utility is an ISPF-based configuration utility to make the installation of CLM and RTC simplified. It started by executing the initialization exec, specifying the product load libraries, and the high-level qualifier of the configuration datasets that are going to be created. So we'll press enter. We get a message telling us what the two high-level qualifiers are, and we're thrown into the initial screen, which lets us set the base system parameters for CLM, such as the high-level qualifier of the system datasets, the product installation directory in the HFS, and the configuration and work directories. So we'll go ahead and we'll enter some values. By default, it will take the high-level qualifier as specified when the exec is initialized. We specify the location of BLZ past TK if it's different. For example, it may be in a system linked list. And we have to change the location of RTC in this case. The location of Java, which it's found in my environment, and we have to change the work directory also. We press enter to validate. For example, if we enter something that doesn't exist, we should get a validation message screen telling us what doesn't exist. So we can go back and correct that. Press enter. If everything validates okay, nothing happens, and we press PF3 to continue. The next screen that's displayed is the customization screen, where each of the different components or configurations within RTC are listed and can be configured as needed. You can see on this screen there are some general specifications, ISPF gateway. They have an asterisk next to them to say they are going to be configured. And then the optional configurations are, for example, the rational build agent, the ISPF client, RDZ, the job monitor, and then obviously Tomcat, WebSphere Liberty, WebSphere. And scrolling down, we can see also the RTC applications such as Jazz Team Server, CCM, QM and RM, and the data warehouse. So we select the ones that we wish to configure, where we will enter the configuration parameters. So the first thing we do is look at the general settings, as there will be some settings we have to change here, such as the location of the JSOS library. So let's just change that. On this system, it's in Jazz 00 JSOS JCL, and the same for the load library. Okay, scroll down, we can see some additional parameters such as the location of the JDBC DB2, the runlib.load, and the name of DSN-TEP2's plan. We press enter. If anything is not found, we'll actually get a message telling us, so we can correct that. And we press enter, and now it's validated OK. We can check the ISPF gateway. Most of these will be taken from the initial screen or defaults. You can see that the ISPF libraries for RTC have already been added to the ISPF concatenation that will be created in the ISPF.conf. So there's nothing for us to do on this screen. So now we're into the optional customizations. So let's take a look at one or two of those. For example, the rational build agent. So with each of the optional customizations, we have to tell the configuration utility that we're going to customize by specifying a Y in the option provided. We can check the rest of the options, such as Jazz user IDs, etc. But we'll just leave these as default for the purpose of the demo. Press enter. Nothing is failed validation. And now you can see an asterisk has appeared next to the rational build agent option to say that this will be configured. We'll continue now with, let's do the ISPF client first. And again, specify Y, and we have to use a 16-character key, so let's just use the option provided. And again, we'll just take the defaults. And finally, WebSphere Liberty. Again, yes, to customize. Scroll down. Okay, so we need to enter some information here. And so on. Okay, so press enter, PF3. And finally we'll do CCM. Now with CCM, again, we have to say yes to include, but we also have to say if we're going to create the database in DB2, as that will change what's configured. And again, we need a valid DB2 subsystem, a password which is obfuscated when it's stored. And we can use an option to get the DB2 DDF information from the system by just putting a slash in the provided field. Scroll down, you can see now those fields are populated.
This concludes the demo. Part 2 will be about generating the configuration.